We're going to talk about a really cheap magazine offering for AR-15s out there. And that's from the infamous ProMag, folks. This one, full retail, I purchased $18.99. I'm sure that you can find it for cheaper. This certainly isn't the cheapest. I'm sure if I went online, I could find them for cheaper. But it's not a bad price. It's a blue steel 20-round magazine made in the old school. Think about the Vietnam era. Back in the old school days when 20-rounders were more of the common thing versus the 30-rounders. It was made in that design. And I wanted a 20-round magazine just because I kind of like the profile. I like the nice, easy profile. It's really good for at the range, especially, you know, shooting off of a bench or something like that. It's nice to have a nice low-capacity magazine like a 20-rounder to shoot. But in any case, ProMags, they have a less than stellar reputation, and we all know that. So whenever I see a ProMag magazine out there, I really hesitate on buying it. But this one, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. This one surprisingly is made rather decent for what it is. Now, just kind of a close-up of the magazine. The magazine itself, again, it's steel mag, blued. It's surprisingly decently made as far as the finish work. It's about on par with any 20-rounder that I've seen. So, there's really no complaints there. It has the old school follower. Of course, it tilts, but that's really not an issue, and that can be replaced. So that and the spring, if I have any issues with the spring. Now, I know that sometimes ProMag springs aren't the best springs, but if I have any issue with the spring, I can always pop it out and just replace it real easy. That's not a big deal. But the main draw with this magazine is I wanted an old school style, low capacity, 20-round magazine to have to shoot at the range or whatnot when I didn't want to bring a bunch of 30s along. So, and this fits the bill. I did take it out to the range today, put a whole bunch of rounds through it with this particular DPMS, and it shot just fine, not one malfunction. So I was rather pleased. Whenever I buy ProMag stuff, I'm always expecting to have some hiccups just because it is what it is. ProMag, again, they're not the best magazine manufacturer. So, $18.99, that's what I paid for it. I bet you could probably find them for $15 online. Maybe even cheaper if you look right. So if you're looking for a range magazine, then yes, I suggest these. Now, I haven't had this long enough to really do a lot of testing with, and I really hesitate on saying ProMag in any sense is good for self-defense magazines. I've just had a lot of bad experience with them before, so it's hard for me to say that. So as time goes on, and I use this more and more, I may trust this more in a self-defense type role, because a good low-capacity 20-rounder would be a great self-defense magazine to throw into a carbine for home defense around the house, or if you have something you want to throw into a vehicle that's nice and compact. I think it'll fit that role nicely, as long as it works. So one thing to note, a kind of a side talking point, so to speak. This DPMS, this is the only rifle that it does this with. It's extremely tight fitting. You can see there, it's a very, very tight fitting. So if you're looking to purchase a couple of these, if you have a DPMS like I do, and you're looking to purchase a couple of these, just make a mental note. You could have a chance of that you're going to have to really yank those magazines out if you're hoping to do mag changes. So, just kind of a side talking point. Other rifles is just fine. My Springfield Armory Saint drops in, or slides right in, nice and easy, drops free. Whenever I do reloads, all that good stuff. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. I guess it kind of shows you that there's a little bit of a spec difference, at least with this particular DPMS. So, another thing, I did have some range footage, but it didn't turn out as good as I wanted to. I didn't add it in here because, honestly, on my channel, it seems like range type footage, shooting footage, it really doesn't get that many views. So I figure, yeah, my shooting must be kind of boring. I really don't do much of the run and gun tactical type stuff, honestly. I do train like that occasionally. I do some stuff that's more applicable to my line of work. In my line of work, a lot of you know what it is. It's not really has anything to do with military anymore. It doesn't really have to do anything with putting on a full kit and running around with all kinds of gear on and such. So maybe my shooting's a little bit boring and that's why I don't get views. But anyway, I digress. I just didn't put it on there because I don't get a whole lot of views. Feel free to leave your comments. If you'd like to see more shooting videos, tell me what you want to see and we'll go from there. But back on subject here. This magazine, great range magazine, and it seems to work so far pretty good. More to follow later on, like a long range review to see if I can recommend this for home defense. But if you see them for cheap, go ahead and pick them up. If anything, put with your scoped AR-15s, a good low profile magazine you can shoot off of a bipod or a bench rest. Don't have to worry about it interfering with anything. You can get nice and close to the ground. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay safe.